Hi, my name is Eva Venes. I'm the founder of EuroPilates, a Pilates studio and corrective exercise facility where I work with people who suffer from chronic pain or some kind of chronic condition. One of the most common aches and pains that people come to me with is foot pain. In last week's video, I discussed the main causes of foot pain and calf tightness. I also gave you some tips and tricks of how you can eliminate that pain and that tightness. One of them was rolling the bottom of the feet with a little rolling device. The other technique that I taught you is releasing your tight calves with the use of a foam roller. So if you completed those two exercises and you've been practicing them for a while, then it's time to take things to the next level. What we do next is I'm going to teach you how to mobilize your ankles. The reason behind the mobilization, why we want to do that, is because when your feet are in a collapsed position, you have too much pronation in your ankles and you're dropping your body weight into the medial side of your feet. That causes your ankles not to move too much and not to respond to the changes of the terrain. One of the main reasons is because we usually walk on concrete or pavement or a hardwood floor, so our feet and ankles are not challenged to move. As opposed to just think about it when, for example, you walk on the beach, on the sand, or you walk on the grass barefooted, then your ankles and your feet are constantly moving like little flippers. They are adjusting to the changes of the terrain. So that's why it's so good to walk on natural surface. So let's try and restore that mobility that so many of you have lost along the way. What you want to do is stand with your feet staggered. They will be hip distance apart. I'm just going to turn that way. I'm going to put my hands on the wall for better balancing. I have a little slack in both of my knees. Then I'm going to pump my shins forward so they go over the top of my feet. I'm going to repeat this about 10 times. What you need to pay attention to is make sure that your heel is not coming up the floor. Okay, so you have to keep both of your heels on the floor. You start with a little slack in your knees and you're just pumping your knees and your lower legs over the top of the feet. Another thing you want to pay attention to is as you're doing that pumping movement, make sure you're not collapsing your arch into the floor. So the knees are facing straight forward and the shins are just coming over the top of the feet. Then what I'll do next is I'm going to keep that same position, but I start just shifting my knees and my hips side to side, which creates a side to side movement in my ankles. You want to repeat this about 10 times. Then we are going to do a third movement when I create rotation in my ankles. So as opposed to just shifting the knees and the hips side to side, this time I'm twisting my hips a little and see what it does to my foot. It makes my ankle roll out. Okay, so it's not just a side to side movement anymore, but I'm adding a rotational element and I'm repeating that on the other side. So I'm twisting my hips in one direction and in the other. I recommend that you do this about 10 times. And after that, repeat the whole process on the other side. So you start out pumping your lower legs and your knees over the top of the feet. Then you continue with the side to side movement. And then last, you add the rotation. And you repeat everything 10 times. And then just start walking around and just test your feet and test your ankles. They're going to feel really, really loose, and there's going to be this light, easy feeling in your feet and in your calves.